Oh, what's up? It's your boy Chris. We're stringing some top strings, you know. You probably don't know, but we're tying another starter knot here, and we are going to be going right into the triangle section. Usually the triangle is something I like to do after I've strung the sidewalls, because what you'll notice with this type of top string is that as I pull down, the top string kind of settles a little, and I like just kind of using the triangle top as more of an aesthetic fix towards the end than anything else. It has less to do with function than it has to do with aesthetics. But we'll go right into it here for those of you who like doing one kind of seamless process. So here I'm just going to feed it in after I tied my starter knot. I'm going to feed this sidewall in straight through the second sidewall hole. Not going to do any loops or anything fancy, just tying my starter knot, going straight in through the second. Now I'm going to bring the head about face so that it's facing me, pockets facing me, going down through this first scoop hole. Now when I loop around back is when I do something kind of funky. Instead of coming all the way through the front side and the back like a standard triangle, what I do is I'm going to come, once we already talked about this mesh bridge, I'm going to come down to the left side of this mesh bridge, pull that nice and tight, and then I'm going to go back up through the right side of this mesh bridge and out through that first scoop hole. So what's important to note here is you do want to pull these tight, but you want to pull them tight vertically. If I pulled this whole thing top tight right now, what you're going to see is that this mesh bridge starts to push up and really exposes it to tearing. And some of you guys have actually probably experienced the mesh tearing with one of our sticks that we've strung for you, and I apologize for that. It's something that we had to kind of develop over time, was an understanding for why that was happening. But what you're going to want to do is, instead of pulling it all the way up tight and basically leaving just a half a row of mesh exposed, you're just going to keep it kind of loose. You hear that voice crack? That was nice. Going to keep it kind of loose and then pinch it with your thumb as you pull it tight. So that'll keep the mesh bridge from drifting up on you, but also allow you to still get some good tension and not have just kind of this loose floating triangle top string. This basically just helps prevent against a little bit more wear and tear, and also keeps that bridge on the front side looking nice and clean. From here we flip back to the front side, and we're going to go just like you would a normal triangle top, kind of down to the right side of that mesh bridge and up to the left side of it, feeding it through the front here. And then you are going to, once again, feed it down through the third and pull it a little bit tight. The other thing, too, sometimes people just aesthetically, when they pull it tight, they essentially make a straight section here. It kind of defeats the triangle effect. So you're just going to pull it a little bit tight, and then we're going to go back and kind of pinch that triangle as we pull it tight and pulling it down vertically so that it still sits nice and evenly through that top string hole without yanking up that mesh diamond. Same thing here, down through the left side of the mesh bridge, pulling it down tight while you pinch it, and then you're going up to the right side of that mesh bridge, just like so, and down through that hole. Once again, we're pinching that mesh bridge while we pull it tight, and you can kind of feel the strings settle a little, and you're not pulling up that back of the mesh. So all we want is really for the string itself to take the wear and tear, because strings are much cheaper to replace than the mesh is, obviously. Now I'm going to blitz through these last two. Voila, we have our beautiful triangle top. Now we just need to finish it. All we're going to do here is, once again, we're copying the way we came in. So as you can see here, we went from the inside out of that second sidewall hole. So that's all we're going to do here. Is we're going to find that second sidewall hole, go right from the inside out. No need to loop or do anything. Just pull that nice and tight. And then it's the same finishing knot we did on the top string. So we're tying a simple overhand. And then since we have that little bit of space, we're going to tie one more overhand knot, making sure that it feeds underneath that original overhand, like so. Boom. That's your triangle top string a la Mainely mesh style. And now we are about ready to move on to the sidewall strings.